In the 1990s, movie making made some serious changes. Special effects were growing increasingly more realistic thanks to computer animation. Movies like Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park showed that computer animation could not only fill in small sections of film, but could be a major part of film production. That left older styles of special effects out in the cold, namely one which was stop-motion animation. Stop-motion had been a giant staple of film history. Films like The Lost World, King Kong, Godzilla, and of course Jason and the Argonauts all used stop-motion to create a reality only dreamed up in our imaginations. These were fantastical films, and stop-motion animation was taken seriously as a tool worth using to create an alternate reality. Starting in 1964, stop-motion bent reality on TV, with Christmas specials like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, The Year Without Santa Claus, and Jack Frost. But by the end of the 1970s, stop-motion was only relegated to TV Christmas specials. The art form maintained a type of stigma. It was an old style of filmmaking, something of the past only meant for Christmas stories on television, or at least in the United States. Stop motion became popular all over the world, especially with the Soviets. Films like The Pied Piper of Hamelin were simpler movies to shoot outside of Hollywood, since there was no need for giant sets or shooting locations. It wasn't until Tim Burton came along and took the stop motion style to a different place that it started to be taken seriously once again. Playing off the idea of Christmas TV specials, Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas was released in 1993 to critical acclaim and a mild success at the box office. The film's director, Henry Selick, had done just a little bit of work in stop motion before taking on the project, but his camaraderie with fellow Disney alum Tim Burton kept him patient in the long process of stop motion. With over 2 years of filming and over 225 puppets, the film was like nothing ever made prior. It was such a large undertaking, but would eventually pay off. The film's mild box office success grew into cult status in home video release. Selick and Burton would continue their partnership, with James and the Giant Peach in 1996 solidifying even further the animation world's newfound interest in a classic style. Stop motion didn't only have a new purpose with the animation world, but coming out of Tim Burton's mind, these were no longer Disney fairy tales. Like how Pixar was telling hip, cool new stories with computers, stop motion was telling fun new tales in its own way. Sure, films no longer needed stop motion dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, but that was okay. The Nightmare Before Christmas had shown that the art style could pivot into a new stream of revenue. Puppeteers were no longer being hired to create characters for 5 minutes of action in a live-action film, but they were creating entire worlds, multiple characters, and interesting stories that took over an entire 90-minute run. In the 2000s, we saw films like Chicken Run, which was financed by DreamWorks Animation, Disney's rival. Burton returned with a new story called The Corpse Bride, and he would go on to make his long-lost short film into a full-length animated film, Frankenweenie. A new company, Leica Animation, debuted with the 2009 film Coraline and is solely doing stop-motion animation. And other popular directors got in on the action, like Wes Anderson doing Fantastic Mr. Fox. Nowadays, stop-motion animation is just as normal as their hand-drawn and computer-generated counterparts. Movies like The Lego Movie, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Isle of Dogs all have roots in over a century of artistry, but they owe their popularity of stop motion to The Nightmare Before Christmas. Without Jack Skellington, I'm not sure if stop motion would have survived, or if it would have, it may still be considered the Christmas special art of yesteryear.